Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today's video is going to be about camera gear. So I got something pretty cool for the A6500 here. It's actually a cage and it's from a company called SMALLRIG. So they make a lot of cool stuff. I'm excited to see what this cage has to offer for my camera. So let's crack it open and see what it looks like. Alright, so this is what the box looks like. It's a pretty simple cardboard box, nothing too fancy. Has the SMALLRIG logo here on the front. Let's go ahead and open it up. So it looks like it's in a plastic bag here. And that's it for the box. More logoing, SMALLRIG. I guess they want you to know what you're getting. SMALLRIG makes a lot of really cool stuff for cameras. Alright, so it looks like we have a little baggie with a little tiny screw and an Allen wrench. And here is the cage. Wow, it looks good, guys. It feels pretty premium. So we have the standard 1/4 inch little tie down on the bottom here. And we have a ton of mounting points here all around. That's really cool. And not only that, guys, we get an extra cold shoe right here on the side. So that's pretty awesome. Seems like you always need one of those. So we have like some kind of accessory here that slides in, I guess, for a handle or whatnot else. So, and some more mounting points. There's mounting points all over this thing, and that's what makes this thing so awesome. And this is why I got it, so I can mount stuff to the camera. So on one of the sides here, you have the SMALLRIG logo here on the. Reminds you what kind of cage you got. So I love the black look. It looks great. I think it should match the camera perfectly. So let's try to put it on the camera. Alright guys, so here we are a little closer to the camera so you guys can see a little better. But I'm pretty blown away by this, and for being $30, this is a really good deal. You know, all their accessories and stuff is very expensive, but you know, they're giving you this cheap because they know you're going to buy other things from them probably. So this makes it a very great deal for this thing. Try to put it over here. I got my Sigma 30mm on there. Let's see if it'll squeeze over. Yes, it will. Look at that. So it goes on top just like that. These little things right here, I think I'm going to have to take one of those off because one of these screws, or this little screw here that came with the kit, or bolt should I say, whatever that is, it goes through the mounting point right there to the SMALLRIG, so it kind of like keeps it from coming out at all. So let's go ahead and try to put it on without taking that off yet. I guess a coin would work with this if you don't have a flat screwdriver. So, and because this was designed for the A6500, all your controls are very accessible here. So, but on this other side, we have plenty of room here. So, technically, you wouldn't have to take this off if you don't want to. So, and this door here still opens just fine. You got plenty of room here to stick all your stuff in there, which will definitely be using HDMI port and the microphone input. And on the bottom here, guys, you can still mount this, you know, to whatever you want. You got a large, I guess that's a 3/8, and you got quarters all over the place. So it's nice that they gave you at least one 3/8 here. Battery door here obviously has plenty of room too, and it would be just like any other time taking your card out, putting it back in. So one of my concerns about mounting this camera on anything is usually when you mount it flat, flush with the bottom of the camera, you lose the tilting of your screen. First of all, it's hard to get it out normally, but you can get it out like this, and at least you can look up on it. But you can never do this though, going down. And the reason why is because if you guys can see here up closer, that it goes below the camera, and so whenever it goes below the camera, it you know, it hits it and it won't go down. So this cage not only, you know, gives me all this versatility with mounting points, and not to mention it protects the camera also, kind of, you know. It also lets my screen go down like this, which is super duper cool, because if I want to mount this thing high up in the air, you know, and then look down, I can do that now, which is super valuable to me, because there's a lot of times where I'm trying to get over people's heads, you know, and I can't see. So the cage helps me with that, which is super awesome. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and mount this thing correctly. Alright guys, so the first thing we want to do is we want to remove this little thing right here. And by the way, if you're using internal microphones, this thing just makes all kinds of noise. And you know, there's two of them, so we're gonna take that off. So the way you do that, it's not too hard, but it's a little bit tedious. I can show you guys here, but there's a little plastic piece here on the top, and what you're gonna do, you're just gonna pry that off. Pries off pretty easy, just like that. So that's out of the way. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna try to get this clip off. So it's just like any kind of keychain clip, it's just a triangle looking. So you just have to pry on one of these edges and then kind of feed it out. Okay, here we go. I didn't even have to use a knife, but sometimes you maybe do, but you just gotta pry it up, kind of like a keychain, and then work it out. Not too hard. And just like that. And now it's out. And now we have a clean little connector there. So, and you don't want to throw these guys away, guys, because, you know, if you ever sell the camera or not else, you know, you might want to keep them around for that. I think the next owner, you know, might want these things. So now that we got that off, now we can connect it to our SMALLRIG here without any issues. So as you can see, guys, here, well, let's see, here right there, now we can screw that on real tight. So I'm going to start at the bottom first here, but you don't want to get this super tight, just keep it kind of loose where it still moves around, and then go ahead and do the little bolt here. And the reason you don't want to tighten the bottom yet is because you want this to move around just in case it doesn't line up perfect, because you don't want to force anything, and all these little tiny things can strip out easily. So then we're just going to put this little bolt right into the frame. So what this is doing is it's securing the camera where the camera will not come out of this thing no matter what. So, and this is kind of important if you're going to put a bunch of stuff on your cage, because you want it to be very solid. And plus this gives the cage a little bit of rigidity too. Alright, so now that you got that tightened on that side, all you got to do is push the cage over like all the way tight, and as you're pushing it down tight, go ahead and tighten this bolt underneath. You know, if you're not going to be taking it out anytime soon, you might want to make it pretty tight. And here, guys, you can see the A6500 is in the cage, and now it's solid. You know, now you can hold it by the cage, move it around, mount all kinds of craziness to it, and you're going to be very secure in here. So, and as you can see, guys, now we have a lot more room for this button, so it's way better now to push it. So your finger kind of still goes against it a little bit, but it's not a big deal. It's actually kind of nice because you know that, hey, that's the end, boom, and you push it. So it might be actually kind of like a guide too. So honestly, I love everything about this cage. It just makes sense. Everything makes sense about it. I'm not a pro shooter or anything. I'm just homemade videos for my YouTube channel, but man, this is definitely going to be helping me out a lot. I can tell already. Now the only bad part is that if I want to put it on my gimbal, the Crane M, which is kind of small, this gauge is probably too heavy for that. Plus it's going to offset my balance quite a bit, so I will have to take it out every time I use that. But I don't use that very often. Normally I don't need that unless I'm like shooting something like an event of some sort or something more fun. But this is kind of like my daily vlogger style camera with this lens. I love this lens, by the way, guys. If you don't have this lens for your Sony, you're missing out. This is the best lens that you can get, in my opinion, for the price. And the focal length is just amazing. It's a 30mm 1.4 Sigma lens. I do have a review on that too if you want to check it out. All right guys, let me show you. So don't lose your little Allen wrench, just in case you do need to take it off. Throw it in your camera bag or wherever you keep your things. Oh yeah guys, and I forgot to mention that it does make the camera sit up a little higher off the ground, which is a plus because now it sits really flat, and plus it has a better sitting composure because I guess there's a more flat bottom here, so it sits nicer without trying to tip over on a heavier lens, or at least this lens that I got. It's a pretty big lens, as you can see. All right guys, so let's go with what we got here. So normally what I do have for extended run times, which I record at times with this thing for over 30 minutes to an hour sometimes. Actually, I can run this camera for over 2 hours with this battery bank here that I have. So, and by the way guys, I have a video out how to hack this camera, and mostly any mirrorless camera where you can record unlimited video, so check that thing out. I'll leave some links at the end of the video. Alright, so I do have this battery bank that I always use constantly. The reason why is because the battery in here sucks so much. I want to keep it topped off as much as I can, so I have this battery bank that I always use. So we could actually mount this thing in the cold chute here, and now I have this thing connected to my cage. So I can open it up, plug it in, and we are charging. So yeah guys, so I have a lot of options to mount and stuff like that. So obviously this ain't gonna go like this. I did get a little kit of little adapter screws and stuff like that, extenders for this thing. I'm gonna pop up a picture here so you guys can see what that looks like. Yeah, if you have a cage like that, you might want to get those. It's like 10 bucks or $11, but it's worth it like crazy because you're gonna have to, you can make a bunch more mounting points. So yeah guys, that's what this thing looks like and what it does. So I still have to figure out how I'm gonna mount some of this stuff. So I do have more things that I'm gonna need to mount on this thing. I do have a monitor that I got, which I can't wait to get because I've been excited about a monitor because, as you guys know, the screen on the 6500 is really bad in 4K especially. And I'm gonna have a wireless audio little thingamajigger that I need to mount. Then I'm gonna need this pack here. I'm gonna need this microphone here for backup audio. For the cage itself, I'm super excited. So I think this is probably one of the best $30 you can spend on an accessory for your camera. So now they do have little handles that go right here for if you're going to handle your camera a lot with the frame, but if you're just going to mount this to make a video, you don't really need that little handle. But if you wanted to, you could get it, but that's more money, so everything's more money. So unless you absolutely need it, it's not really necessary. It is a little bit hard to hold, but in any case guys, and as you can see here, you can mount anything up here that you normally would before. Micro does have a pretty big turning wheel here on top, the locking wheel. It goes all the way in and it still does not touch the frame there, as you can see. So, you can have pretty big washers on top without it being an issue. Alright guys, so I think that'll be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want to get a cage like this, I'll leave a link in the description, so check that out. And I'll leave a link for this lens. And also guys, go check out my other videos. I have quite a few here for the camera gear that I've been getting here recently. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you want to see more and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And as always guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.